Alright guys, what's going on? Alright, so we are going to be talking about the final episode of the Usagi Yojimbo Trilogy episode arc from Ninja Turtles, which is episode title Kagayake Kintaro, or Kagayake Kintaro. Sorry, I don't really speak Japanese, like, at all. So, but that word, like, when you watch the episode, you kind of will figure out, like, what exactly that means and everything, and how it pertains to the episode. So just like the previous episode, this one just continues off of like where the turtles where we last saw them.
Carrying me! Someone should be carrying me!
And they're continuing on their journey, just like the last episode. After the theme song opening, we get to hear the great, like, Japanese-based orchestral music as they are traveling, as the guys are going through, continuing on their journey. That's the one thing I actually will miss about this trilogy was the great like orchestra sounds that we got, and I really like that. It was very period-like, and it really fit in very well, especially with these last three episodes. So in this episode, we see that like, you know, Kintaro, who you guys have like really voiced how much you guys like really dislike this character.
Be silent! One day, I'll be strong enough to lift an entire mountain!
He continues to be the bratty prince, maybe not I don't think he was really a prince, but he continues to be that bratty, childlike character that we've seen.
Chicken? I'm the bravest warrior in the land!
That not many people of you guys actually really like. Like, it's been really like out there, very vocal about it. So
Kintaro is very impressive.
he's very impressive, yeah. So in fact, there gets to a point where even Usagi actually kind of gets annoyed with Kintaro.
Instead of judging them, you should have compassion for them. If you are so strong, perhaps you should stop being such a chicken.
As with the previous episode, the Turtles, they continue to call him by his nickname that Michelangelo gave him, Kintaro, and, well, you know, everyone else in Usagi's world is calling him Kintaro. I believe at one point, actually, Leonardo does call him Kintaro, but we actually see in this episode where Leonardo, he kind of opens up and he actually be friends with Kintaro, as he actually sees like potential in him. And
that was pretty impressive, Kintaro.
Actually, that's something like really liked seeing in Leonardo, especially since the previous episode we saw him more arguing with Usagi, and over here we kind of see him more in his more characteristic ways, which it was a real nice treat to see that. So, you know how you guys were like, you know, watching like Ninja Turtles and everything, and like, you know how like when the Turtles get into the action mode and their pupils like kind of disappear and we got like the white eyes and everything, and well, we actually have a term for that now, as at one point Leonardo calls it the evil eyes.
Put your evil eyes back on and follow me.
And so at one point in this episode, you know, Jay returns when they actually go into the temple, and we see that the whole thing was orchestrated by him and everything, and that Jay actually never lost control of the actual turtles themselves. So at one point, like, Leonardo, he goes and tells the turtles, "Oh, we gotta put on those evil eyes," and it's kind of, to me, it was kind of like weird and kind of fourth wall breaking at a little bit, because I've always thought like whenever the pupils were gone, that was more of like a design choice and everything. I didn't think it was like more of like anything like, oh, it's something that is like really happening, that it was just there, just kind of there. Well, they actually like call out to it, and it was, to me, it was just a little awkward in that. So not only does Jay return, we Akuma actually returns as well, and he actually shows like how, like, why he has that name. And actually, I really liked how they got in, just because I like that before, when we saw him in the first episode of this arc, where it just felt like, I was like, okay, they just found something that sort of rhymed with it, and that's Japanese-like. They actually do make him go into, like, how he got that name, which I actually really did enjoy. Now, I will say the biggest difference between this episode from the last episode, the second episode in this arc, was very Ninja Turtle focused. And here, we do have focus on the turtles themselves, but we go back into that Usagi Yojimbo focus as Usagi actually comes back into center stage into this. In fact, at one point in the episode, the turtles they're actually back into the evil side as they're actually fighting against Usagi, which we get some really cool action scenes in there, and at one point we actually see like Leonardo's sword shatters, and actually it's like really cool. Action never like lets up and everything, but we actually get a point where Usagi and Jay, they are having a one-on-one fight as like the turtles are just completely just gone from the actual scene itself. And as for the conclusion, obviously the turtles gotta return. I mean, they can't be in Usagi's universe forever. So,
Jason,
yes.
I really like that how trusted Kintaro.
Yeah, it was actually really cool. I actually really liked that, and because it really showed the compassionate side about you and everything.
Yes, he did an impressive job.
You know what? Actually, like when Kintaro, at one point, like Kintaro actually gets into his full power, and that's when he really shines. And actually, it's a really cool sequence that happens at that point and everything, especially when like especially when the turtles are actually fighting him, and like just the movement he does is actually really cool. It's a really nice treat to actually watch. What I actually really liked about this episode was when it ends the same way it began, with that big Japanese splash text. Leonardo, you drop this? Okay. As I was saying, it ends with that Japanese splash text, which I really liked, because it really bookends it really good as we began with that and we end with this, and it just makes it like just that much complete. If you guys haven't actually seen any of these episodes yet, I highly recommend you guys watch all three of these episodes like together, as I really felt that it was intended to be this way, especially since like between each episode it doesn't really feel like there's a break, or the fact that most of the episodes, like it doesn't feel like it feels like one big complete storyline, which surprisingly we haven't actually really gotten in Ninja Turtles before, because most of the multi-part adventures, it was usually they had like one conflict in the first 20 minutes, and then they had a second conflict in the next 20 minutes. In fact, go ahead and rewatch the whole Kavaxis story arc. You see that it's basically almost like 4 different episodes, and that's what we don't get in here. And just unfortunately, just from the way it's airing in the DVD releases, this was our first real part of season 5 where we don't actually get the complete storyline in our first like get-go when this was first presented. I really wish they really did that. Leonardo, what'd you like about it?
I like that at the end everyone were trusting Kintaro.
You did it.
And that was actually that was actually pretty cool. I know you and Kintaro, you guys got like a nice little buddy relationship. Was I know it's probably pretty hard for you to be fighting him.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Really happy that we actually got this nice Ninja Turtles Usagi arc. It was actually a nice treat. Usagi Yojimbo is actually one of my favorite comics that's not Ninja Turtles, mainly because I got introduced through Ninja Turtles, and just everything about that world has always like intrigued me. I always thought it was interesting, and they really do it justice in these 3 episodes. And I'm so happy that however licensing or however that they made this happen, they made it happen. So let me know down in the comments below what you guys actually think about this episode, and what you guys actually think about the arc entirely and everything. And let me know if you guys were actually fans of Usagi, or let me know if you were introduced from, and as Leonardo throws Donatello's bow at me again, let me know if you guys were introduced to an Usagi from the Ninja Turtle series, or you actually read it before. I'm actually really curious about these things. Alright, till next time guys, alright, see ya.
Where is my ball? Kintaro, give me my ball. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And I have to go get Kintaro. I don't know why he's having my ball. Like and subscribe.